What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for a SmackDown review as well as AEW Rampage for June the 10th, 2022. We are heading on our way to Forbidden Door. We did have the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay make their AEW in-ring debut. Also, Satnam Singh made his in-ring debut tonight too, which was pretty good as well. I mean, it was a job, but it was a squash match. What do you expect? Statlander took on Red Velvet, Eddie Kingston versus Jake Hager to open the show. And on the B show, we had Ronda Rousey come out and give one of the most lifeless promos I have ever heard. Thank God Shotzi Blackheart came out just to even talk and stop Ronda from talking because it was horrendous. So, here we are. We also had Matt Riddle versus Sami Zayn. The winner, if Sami Zayn won and Matt Riddle was barred from SmackDown, so, WWE would come up for a reason for him to be on SmackDown. And if Matt Riddle won, he would be able to take on Roman Reigns next week for the Universal and WWE Championships, as well as Volta getting a chance at his first set of main roster gold as he takes on Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll talk about the B show later. Let's talk about Rampage, the fastest 1 hour of all professional wrestling. We had Hager versus Eddie Kingston to start this. They are just throwing haymakers at the start. This is how a blood feud, a pissed off Eddie Kingston should be going against a guy like Jake Hager. He is just wanting to beat this guy to within an inch of his life, and that is exactly what you should have seen going on here. Hager gets the better of it, lays out Kingston and clotheslines Hager with clotheslines. Hager punches away on Kingston, is down to his knees. Hager throws Kingston. Hager goes low with the knee, got to retake the control. And Hager slams Kingston head into the ring apron, and they head back into the ring. Hager hits a backdrop suplex and grounds Kingston with a double underhook from behind. Hager throws Kingston out of the ring again. He follows him out and suplexes Kingston on the floor. Kingston tries to fight back with Hager, kicks him down and rolls back into the ring. Hager pounds on Kingston. Lower back in the corner, fires up with some shots, but Hager cuts him off and the belly-to-belly suplex, but it recovers, but Kingston immediately kicks out. Hager pounds on Kingston's lower back in the corner, fires up some chops, and Hager cuts him off with a belly-to-belly suplex, and he tries to cover it. Kingston immediately kicks out. So of course, we said that. Hager grabs Kingston with an armbar. Kingston fights with his feet and slaps away at Hager. Another knee to the midsection by Hager stalls his momentum. Hager chops Kingston, but he only fires up Kingston, and he comes back with a flurry of chops, which, yeah, he just turned the chest of Jake Hager into hamburger meat, how much he was chopping him away. It was brutal. Back from break, Kingston is on his knees, flipping the bird to Hager. Hager responds with punches. Kingston goes for Hager's eye. Hits a DT for a 2 count. Kingston sets up for the spinning back fist, but Hager ducks and puts Kingston in the ankle lock. Kingston goes close to the ropes, but Hager pulls him back into the center of the ring. He eventually does fight to the ropes and gets to him. Hager backs Kingston into the corner and mounts him and punches away. Kingston carries out Hager with the powerbomb. Kingston hits a pair of spinning back fists and covers for the 1, 2, 3. Eddie Kingston beats Jake Hager in a brutal fight. This was not a match. This was a fight, as it should have been. This is all, of course, leading to Blood and Guts. The next step is, of course, on Wednesday with Road Rager, as it will be Ortiz versus Chris Jericho. Hair versus hair. Where is Santana in all this? Who the hell knows? Backstage, Tony Schiavone is with the Faker and Jamie Hayter and Rebel. Faker bitches about the fact that Tony Storm touched the Women's Championship, had no business to, blah, blah, blah. As much as I'm missing the championship is missing me. No, bitch. You know what happened? You know, if that championship was a real item, like an inanimate object, and it could actually speak, the minute that Thunder Rosa beat you for that title, it would have said, yes, I am free from the dirt bag that is the dirt that is the mud that's in the ground, because that's why I've been for the last 10 months, just being drugged through the mud. Stay away from the Women's Championship. You have no business to even be fighting for it ever again. Ortiz cut a great promo on the hair versus hair match on Wednesday, saying he's going to get all of Jericho's hair, and what kind of rock star will he be after that. I don't know. There are some bold rock stars, if I'm correct, right? Jay Lethal versus Satnam Singh versus Davey Vega and Matt Fishit. What the hell can I say about this match? It was a squash. Double lethal injection after Satnam Singh beat these two up enough. 1, 2, 3. That was that. They did mention on commentary after the match, because these guys were beating up on the jobbers, that they did attack Samoa Joe, of course, as we know, after Double or Nothing. But Samoa Joe was taken out of... He's out of commission indefinitely. What does that mean? Hell if I should know. Earlier we see Lex in there interviewing Hookhausen, who rolls up in a golf cart to greet her. Hook follows in a much cooler ATV, drops his shades at Nair, and zips away. Back in the arena, Red Velvet makes her entrance, followed by Chris Statlander. So we have Red Velvet versus Chris Statlander. This match has been happening because, yes, Athena's come in, and yes, it looks like Athena is going to be the next to take on Jade Cargill, but it's not going to be she's not winning the championship. They are building this up, and Chris Statlander has to be the person to take the title. Athena can have a match. You want to get this match. You want to get this on a pay-per-view. You want to build Chris Statlander up. You're not having Chris Statlander do all this stuff not to face the champion and beat the champion and become the second ever TBS champion, which by that logic, she would be the best TBS champion we've ever had. Just saying. Velvet tried to jump Statlander for the bell, but runs right into a power slam, but Statlander was still on the ramp making her entrance. He caught her and hit a Randy Orton-esque power slam. Statlander presses Velvet back into the ring and follows with some running strikes. Velvet retreats to the floor. Statlander is in pursuit and beats up Velvet. Velvet tries to jump on Statlander, but Statlander carries her to the back, on her back, up the ring, steps and tosses her back into the ring. Statlander goes to the top rope and misses the crossbody, but quickly she recovers. Get Velvet up for a delayed vertical suplex, but never lands it as Velvet slips out to the back. Velvet is able to attack Statlander's knee as we go picture-in-picture break. Back from break, Velvet and Statlander are trading. Can we just give it a picture-in-picture, mind you? Because, quite honestly, half the time, it's like, yeah, we had this long-ass commercial. Half of it's picture-in-picture, and then the other half it's not. Just get rid of it. We don't need picture-in-picture. Statlander drives her shoulder in the Velvet and lands some shots. Statlander carries Velvet to the corner and hits a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2 count. Please, somebody make the Blue Thunder Bomb their finisher. It is such a great move. Why is that not a finishing maneuver? I don't know. Statlander lifts Velvet into the electric chair position, but Velvet reverses into a victory roll for a pinning attempt. She kicks out, of course. Statlander gets her own roll-up attempt and rolls through to a German suplex and follows with another power slam for a 2 count. Statlander hoists Velvet up onto her shoulders. Velvet hangs on the ropes and then drops Chris Statlander in the second rope. Velvet runs to the second turnbuckle and comes off with a cutter, but she didn't do just a normal cutter. She, for whatever reason, decided she had to spin 360 degrees to get a cutter, for whatever reason. Hits the just desserts, but only gets a 2 count. She lines Statlander up, but Statlander blocks a corkscrew kick, grabs both of her arms, flips her into what used to be known as the Big Bang Theory, but is now being called the Friday Night Fever. Nails it. 1, 2, 3. Chris Statlander beats Red Velvet. Unfortunately, after the match, both Kiera Hogan and Jade Cargill attack Chris Statlander, laying her out. Anna Jay comes down. She gets overwhelmed. Athena comes down. Don't know why her music needed to play, but she comes down. The referees, Pat Buck, and other officials get in her way to make sure that she cannot get involved. So that is the next match that we're getting, is Athena versus Jade Cargill, but Athena should not be the one to take the title. That has got to be Chris Statlander. There is no fucking reason you build Chris Statlander up like this if you're not going to have her take the championship. Get a hype video for Wednesday's All-Atlantic Championship qualifying match between Ethan Page and Miro. Backstage, Lexi Nair chats with Page, Scorpio Sky, and Dan Lambert. Page says that he pretty much mocks Miro for his God's favorite champion, and the fact that he looks up, like, after he lost the TNT title, he looked up to the sky and blamed everyone but himself. But what does he do? He believes in himself. He prays to himself. He thinks that he says he will be waving the flag of Canada, and Miro will be praying for him next Wednesday. So that is going to be going on there. Main event time, Mark Henry is in the back showing with the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay introducing themselves, and Aaron Inare. He says they were here to separate the sheep from the goats. Trent says he didn't like Ospreay when he was starting out, and he still doesn't like him. FTR says they're the actual best team on the planet. and let's go to the main event. But first, AEW Tag Team Ladder match, Young Bucks versus Hardys versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's got to be the end of the title reign for the Jurassic Express. Has to be. Those, like, you can just see the frustration with Jungle Boy and Christian Cage boiling over. It's got to happen. Hair versus Hair, Chris Jericho versus Ortiz. All-Atlantic Championship qualifying match, Ethan Page versus Miro. And Wardlow's going to destroy 20 security guards because that hasn't ended yet for whatever fucking reason. I know they're just holding off time for Wardlow, like buying time for Wardlow to go for the TNT title because this time, Wardlow's got to win. Will Ospreay and Aussie Open with Aaron Henare, a.k.a. the United Kingdom versus, or the United Empire, I'm not sorry. The United Empire versus Trent Beretta and FTR. Ospreay starts out with Dax Harwood. They grapple immediately, and Ospreay takes him to the ground. Ospreay and Dax lock up, and Ospreay backs Dax into the corner. They trade chops, and Dax tags in Cash. Cash knocks down Will Ospreay with his shoulder tackle, but Ospreay kips up. Another exchange leads to a messy head scissors, which I guess that's what he was going for, but it was definitely a botch. It didn't, like, Ospreay didn't get into the position he was supposed to hit the move, but he made it work in the end, and nobody got hurt or anything. They tumble into the ropes, and Kyle Fletcher tags in. Fletcher, so Ospreay messed the move up. He gets up, and he, like starts doing some jumping jacks, doing some jump up, push-ups, and I'm good. Then he tags in Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher clocks Cash with a strike and tags in Mark Davis. Davis throws Cash into his corner, and Mark Davis is a big boy. That dude looks like a bruiser. I'm just saying that right now. Like, the dude looks like he's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you fucking hard every single time. Beretta avoids a chop and hits some of his own. Davis catches a crossbar, Beretta slips out. Davis knocks down Beretta and tags in Ospreay. Beretta catches Ospreay with a tornado DDT, and things break loose. With everyone fighting, Beretta hits an Isaiah Moonsault onto Ospreay, onto the floor. He sends Ospreay back in the ring as we go to another picture-in-picture break. Back from break, Beretta hits a back body drop to Ospreay. Fletcher tags in and grabs Beretta's foot. But Beretta kicks him away. Davis tags in and hits a senton on Beretta. Fletcher tags back in and pounds on Beretta in the corner. Fletcher misses a drop kick in the corner. Beretta makes the tag to Dax. Dax punches away on both men of Aussie Open. Ospreay comes in and also gets knocked down. Dax suplexes Davis on the Fletcher. Dax pounds on Fletcher in the corner, but Ospreay attacks from behind. Dax dispatches Ospreay with a big clothesline and hits a trio of German suplexes on the Fletcher. Cash tags in and hits a powerbomb on Fletcher, German suplex, jackknife cover. 2 counts for FTR as Ospreay breaks it up. Fletcher fights back, but Cash slips out of the back on a suplex attempt. Fletcher hits a kick and tags in Davis for a tag team maneuver. Ospreay follows with a 450 splash. Beretta breaks up that pin attempt. Ospreay catches Dax with a kick and hits Cash with an Os Cutter. And I was like, that's gotta be it. Nobody kicks out of the Os Cutter. Unfortunately, Dax Harwood, or Cash Wheeler, kicks out. I'm joking, by the way. Fletcher tags in, but misses a charge into the corner. Beretta tags in and trade strikes with Fletcher. Beretta hits a backdrop suplex. Ospreay comes in and takes out FTR with a crossbody over the top rope to the floor. Fletcher rolls up Beretta for a 2 count. Beretta tries for a roll-up, but Fletcher kicks out Beretta, then gets him into the strong zero. Ospreay and them were not able to get in. 1, 2, 3, and Trent Beretta and FTR defend home territory and beat the United Empire. This was a fun match. Crowd loved it. This was awesome. Chants all around. Just look at this. We're in 2022. Will Ospreay is wrestling a match in AEW. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely nuts that that's how they went with that. So, that was Rampage. Pretty good episode tonight. Just flowed through and everything was good. Can't wait to see what happens on Wednesday with Road Rager and as we get closer to Forbidden Door. What else is going to be named? We only have a few weeks left. They got to start making matches. I know we got the tag team. We got the Fatal 4-Way coming up. We got the AEW World Championship. It looks like we might have a triple threat match for Adam Cole, Hangman Adam Page, and Okada or Jay White, depending on who wins. I think Okada is going to win, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, coming into Friday with SmackDown, we had the Intercontinental Championship match. Volta versus Ricochet. Money in the Bank qualifying match. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, and Lacey Evans versus Xia Li. Gee, I wonder who's going to win the women's match. Also, Max Dupree has promised to reveal his first client in the Max and Male Models stable tonight. That did not happen because apparently to them it was travel issues. So they're going to have that next week. So we start out with a match. We actually start out with a match. Don't have no boring 15-minute segment of talking. Drew McIntyre's music plays. We cut to the cameras where he's making his way through Gorilla. He bumps into Pete Dunne, but they break him off a little. He breaks things off. They break things off with a little more than a stare down. McIntyre says he'll see you out there. He makes his entrance. Out comes Sheamus with Pete Dunne. Apparently, Ridge Holland injured his knee last week, so he's on the mend. I hope that's the last time he gets injured for a while, because if Ridge Holland continues to get injured, Vince McMahon will deem him an injury prone, and then goodbye Ridge Holland. This is a Money in the Bank qualifying match, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. We've seen this match multiple fucking times. Yes, it was another great match. Sheamus and Drew McIntyre could probably go out there every single night and give you a banger of a match. I don't want to see it anymore. Unfortunately, this match didn't have a conclusion. So what are we going to do with that? They both got double DQ because both men took their chairs. They had chairs. And they hit chair to chair. And the ref called for the bell. Why is that a DQ? They didn't hit each other. They hit two chairs. One used the other one. One used the chair to block the other chair. That's what I want to know. Oh, they brawl, and I'm like, oh great, we're gonna come back from commercial break, and we're gonna get these two going at it again, but this time it's a no disqualification match. No, that is not what actually happened. These two brawled forever and ever and ever, and eventually they got taken apart and all of that. Back from break, we get a hype video of John Cena's upcoming return to the tune of that one song. I can't think of the name of it. So, the announce table, Michael Cole and McAfee set up the highlights. Seth Rollins attacking Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. McAfee wishes Rhodes a good luck in recovery. Cole informs us that Rhodes underwent surgery and will be out of action up to 9 months, which would be February or March of next year. He's not going to be out that long. Cody Rhodes will not be back until the Royal Rumble. Cody, if they're trying to really give Cody this big push, if his first match back is going to be the Royal Rumble, then you book him to win the fucking Royal Rumble. And at that time, Roman Reigns will not be holding one of the championships probably. If either, honestly, Roman Reigns should lose the championships. Like I said, they don't have to beat Roman. They don't want to. Set up a triple. You know what I would like to see them do? Set up a match. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and whoever else you want to, and call back to when Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and I believe Chris Jericho all wrestled in one match, a triple threat match, 2 pinfall match for the Intercontinental and the European Championship. And Roman loses the first fall, but he doesn't get pinned. He gets pinned, whoever, Drew McIntyre pins whoever, wins the WWE Championship. Roman then spears and gets the other championship and retains the Universal title if they want to keep him that way. That's just me. Backstage, Lacey Evans, Braxton asks her about her chaotic childhood. She explains how Money in the Bank works, how it's changed his lives, and she can't wait to go out there and she can become Miss Money in the Bank. Says Xylee looks like her, like a victim, but Evans says that is not how it is. And that she might not be better than me, but I might not be better than her, but she sure as hell ain't better than me. Oh my god. This catchphrase is gonna fucking suck. After break, she goes and makes her entrance. We go back from break, and Evans is waiting in the ring. Xylee makes her entrance. The lighting special effects are back. Yeah, she has a staff. She doesn't have the little kunais anymore. She has a staff and a hat. She looks like a female Raiden when she comes out from the back. I shit you not. She looks like a mini version of Raiden from Mortal Kombat in a fucking woman's body. Just saying. So, this match lasted less than 3 minutes. Who do you think won? Oh, that's right. Xylee won. I'm sorry. Lacey Evans won with a woman's right. What did you expect? Anna Pierce is backstage on the phone with somebody. Drew McIntyre comes in. He's heated. He's pissed. He wants to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And Anna Pierce says, well, you didn't win, so I can't do that. McIntyre says again, put me in the match. He's like, I can't. He's like, put me in the match. And walks out after that. The women's champion makes her entrance. And oh my god, okay. She comes out, comes to the ring. We're going to get rowdy after the break. So, before we get to that, we get a video package when we come back from commercial break of the Viking Raiders. Why? On top of that, it is a coming soon for the Viking Raiders. Again, I ask you, why? Viking Raiders have been on SmackDown for a year plus now. Why are they pretending like the Viking Raiders? It makes me wonder, are they going to be coming to SmackDown and they're going to have a different name, different names, different identity? They're not going to be the Viking Raiders anymore? Just give them their walking papers and let War Machine come back. Rousey waits in the ring. We get Michael Cole announcing that Rousey to defend her title at Money in the Bank. She is the biggest name going into Money in the Bank now with Cody injured and Roman not being on the show, so you needed that. She gets the mic and says, "Oh, I can't wait for Money in the Bank. You know, I got Natalya, and I'm going to show her that the armbar that I learned from my mama and I perfected is better than that poor excuse of a sharpshooter you stole from your Uncle Brett." She opened her mouth and I wanted to fall asleep. My God, who let this woman talk? When this woman heel, give Paul Heyman something to do when Roman Reigns isn't there, and have him have a side client in Ronda Rousey. She can't fucking talk. It is so nauseating. I want to fall asleep every time. God damn it. Stop it, then. Stop it. Do not let her speak. Oh my fucking God. I hated it. But Shotzi Blackwood came out, tells Rousey to shut up. She might not be a great in-the-ring technician. She might not have the experience of Natalya, but she has some serious aggression and a killer instinct. Talks herself into. She says, "Do you want to have a match with her right here, right now?" Rousey's like, "This part of Rousey was fine. This was fine." She's like, "Well, Baton Rouge, what do you think?" They make this, and she's like, "You're on, see." Like, he's like, "Do you think she should get a shot, Z?" I'm like, "Oh my God, that's so stupid." You're on, Z. Like, so we get the match. Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart. SmackDown Women's Contendership match because WWE can't figure out. Which, Natalya's got the match at Money in the Bank. Why are we getting a championship contenders match while there's already a number one contender for the Women's Championship? Shotzi Blackheart had her chance last week. She did not get the job done. So why is she getting a championship contenders match tonight? It makes no sense. Shotzi is quickly, so this match is a tale of two halves. So, for the most part, this match was going pretty fucking good. And then, all of a sudden, Shotzi went for a kick to Ronda Rousey, and she stiffed this woman, and that's when Ronda was like, fuck this shit. And then, of course, Shotzi got some more offense in. Shotzi goes for a kick. Ronda catches it. She slaps Ronda a couple times. You just see the look of Ronda's face like, really, bitch, too? I'm gonna fucking kill you. Hits her into the armbar, hits the Piper's Pit, locks in the armbar. Shotzi taps out. After the match, Natalya beats up Ronda Rousey, puts her into the sharpshooter. Referees try to get Natalya to stop. She finally relinquishes after a good minute or two. And that was that. So they're building to that. Shotzi looked good until she stiffed Ronda Rousey. You do not stiff Ronda Rousey. You do not stiff anybody who has a MMA background. Just ask Brock Lesnar. Second round interviews. Riddle says he thrives under pressure and he's motivated by what the Bloodline did to his best friend Randy Orton. And he's going to do what he needs to tonight. Marcel Barthel comes out and he introduces the Ring General. Alta. New music. They changed this guy's music again. Walter had some of the best entrance music back when he was in NXT UK, and his sporadic appearances in the NXT proper. They changed his music when he came over here full time. Came up, they changed his name, they changed his music, all that shit. So, he comes to the ring. Caleb Braxton informs us that it is serious and just a Rousey in the background is lying on a trainer's table refusing a bag of ice. And Caleb Braxton questions, can she even make money in the bank? Pat McAfee in the arena is like, can someone tell Ronda Rousey to put the ice on her, but use the ice bag? We need her. Yes, Money in the Bank needs her because whether you like her or not, and I really don't care for her, she's the biggest name going to be on that pay-per-view because Roman's not and Cody's not. Intercontinental Championship match, Walter versus Ricochet. This match was academic from the start, but I will say, Ricochet did as much as he could. He fought as much as he could. Even after Walter hit the chop heard around the world, the first chop of the match, my God, I jumped out of my chair and my chest hurt. You could just hear that chop echo in front of this crowd. I was like, oh my God. Ricochet fought. He had Walter on the ropes a couple times, but in the end, Ricochet hit a shotgun drop kick to Walter. He goes into the corner. Walter comes out and hits his own shotgun drop kick to Ricochet, sending him all the way to the other side of the ring. He picks him up, hits the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Walter is your new Intercontinental Champion. The first title he has held since the UK Championship and his first main roster gold. Looking back on Ricochet's reign, it could have been so much better. I'm happy he won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm happy he got to have a reign, have a couple defenses. I mean, when he won the United States Championship, he had what? Not even one defense, and he lost it to AJ Styles in embarrassing fashion. And then AJ continued to embarrass him week after week after week. So, it was great, but it could have been more. They could have, United States Championship and the Intercontinental title are two titles that are never going to be on par with the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship. Those are your main world titles. So the main world title right now is the Undisputed Universal WWE Championship, whatever you want to call it. But those titles need to be elevated to enough that when Roman's not there, you can build your show around those titles. The show might dip a little bit in quality because your world champion's not there, but you can at least have the ship righted with these mid-card championships there being as good as they can be. Now, Walter, I think he should be someone who goes out there and holds an open challenge. And you get the scrubs, you get the people who can't do anything. He brutalizes everybody who comes through for the first few weeks. And then after that, you get matches like you did tonight, plus better. And Walter just goes on a year-long title run. And Walter becomes and brings a little bit of prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. Backstage, Sami Zayn is getting hyped for his match. Paul Heyman walks up and says, "This is the greatest opportunity of your career. And if you win, that gives me the ammunition to go to the Tribal Chief and say, Sami Zayn belongs in the bloodline. But Sami, if you lose, oh, Sami." He just has this look of, yep, that's going to be the end of your career for helping the bloodline if you do not win this match. So he makes his entrance. They introduce the video of John Cena traveling to the Netherlands to meet a young fan and his mother who are forced to flee due to everything that's going over there. Back from break. So Sami Zayn comes out at 9:25. Do the whole Ukraine thing and all that stuff. We go to commercial break. We come back. Back in the ring, we get a sponsored Classic SmackDown with Stone Cold Steve Austin beating Booker T up in the supermarket. We get Pat McAfee cracking jokes about Michael Cole being embarrassed with the JR's hot sauce, barbecue sauce, and other things, which, yeah. So, we get a upcoming event to the upcoming main event. They discuss that. They toss a highlight from last week's Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and Shinsuke Nakamura. Back to the arena, Matt Riddle makes his entrance, and we go to commercial break. Back from break, we get a highlight video showing Madcap Moss win over Happy Corbin, and that he But they will meet in the last laugh match next week. We're told Max P could not be presenting his first client this week due to travel issues, a.k.a. Vince McMahon scrapped the plans for this week. Promoted next week. Paul Heyman was acknowledged for commentary, and then we have the match starts at 9:43. It was almost 20 minutes from the minute Sami Zayn walked out to this match started. Why do we do this? Why does WWE have this thing to do this? Why can't you do all this other stuff, then have Sami Zayn come out, then have Matt Riddle come out at like 9:37? 9:37, you have Matt Riddle come out, and Sami Zayn come out, Matt Riddle come out, you go to commercial break, you come back, you start the match. Why do we have to continue to do this where you have one person come out, there's like 20-some minutes left, the next person comes out 5-10 minutes later, and then we get the match after them being in there for like 20 fucking minutes. What the hell? So, this match was good, it was serviceable. These guys are awesome. Sami Zayn is Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle is Matt Riddle. Now, of course, Paul Heyman was on commentary. He went from, like, he was getting frustrated with Sami Zayn as the match was continuing on because Sami Zayn would get the upper hand, and then he would be slow to count. He's like, dude, cover him, stay on him. What are you doing, Sami? Stay on him. He would just keep yelling at him. I'm thinking this whole time is like, you guys have a chance to get rid of Matt Riddle out of your guys' life forever, or until WWE gives an excuse for Matt Riddle to be on SmackDown again. Where are the Usos? Why aren't they out here fucking with Matt Riddle and causing him to get beat by Sami Zayn? It's like, where were the Usos at this time? Why didn't they do everything they could? It's like, geez, if Matt Riddle was to get beat, then he's gone and Roman Reigns won't have to do anything with this. No, the Usos wait till after the match. So Riddle hoists up Sami for the Bro Derek. Sami reverses into a roll-up, hits the explosive suplex. He goes for the haluva kick, and Matt Riddle, and you wouldn't like, gets him in an RKO out of fucking nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful fucking spot. Sami Zayn moves on to next week to face off against Roman Reigns. The first time Roman Reigns will put the title on the line since he defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Usos attack Riddle after the match. They pose. Riddle comes back in with the kendo stick, beats them down, sends them flying, and Matt Riddle stands tall at the end of the night. That SmackDown went off the air. So, what else can I say? SmackDown, it wasn't the worst show we've had. I mean, it's like, if you're not like in the Usos / the Bloodline type storyline, who really cares? Ronda Rousey was meh. Like, as soon as she started talking, it was like, oh my god, does she not know that you gotta put a little bit of, like, life into your talk? You have to talk and actually sound like you want to fucking be there, not, hey guys, I got a match at Money in the Bank. I want to show how good my armbar is compared to the sharpshooter. Like, seriously, what the fuck was that? Matt Riddle vs. Roman Reigns. This was supposed to happen at Money in the Bank, but because Money in the Bank went from a stadium show to a intimate location, Roman Reigns is no longer going to be there. So, Matt Riddle, of course, is not winning. We'll go from here. That is just SmackDown review and a Rampage review. Rampage was fine, was great. SmackDown was fine. I'm not going to say it was a terrible show. But that is all for now. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Miles at the Frowns Club. Find me on twitch.tv/thefrowns and find me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I will see you guys on Monday for Raw. Until then, my name is the Frowns, and I'll see you guys later.